Hanging baskets, love them, hate them, you certainly can't ignore them. This magnificent display of hanging baskets in tubs is at Dewstone Grottos, near Chepstow in Monmouthshire, South Wales. I'd like to talk now about a group of plants you can use, and the beauty of these is that they're hardy perennials, so you can keep them from season to season and propagate young plants from them each spring. And the first that we come across is GLECHOMA or NEPETA HEDERACEA VARIEGATA, and it's a wonderful plant for putting around the outside of baskets and let it hang down. It gets about 1 meter long in some cases, and we are now looking at BACOPA snowflake, which is a little bit more delicate and restrained, but it does have a bigger brother, and here you see it, and this is BACOPA, colossal white or giant white. Sometimes these names will confuse you because you'll see them there. And that once again doesn't trail as much, but you can sort of allow the NEPETA to crawl all over it. And here we have a blue form of the BACOPA, which I think is quite attractive. You can get it once again in various shades of blue. This is Blue Sensation, quite delicate. And we see these plants are all drought resistant as well, which is very good in some circumstances. And to brighten things up now, a classic, and this is Biden's, and this is Biden's Feralifolia. That will set seed, and you can grow from seed if you want to, but it tends to be a bit, not rampant, but bushy. It needs cutting back from time to time. And a slightly more restrained one, but with a bigger flower, is another Biden's, and this is Biden's either Pirate's Booty or Pirate's Treasure, whichever you want to call it. It's a little bit more compact and bushy in its habit rather than sprawling. And this is a classic, it's a beautiful plant, BRACHYSCOME, and this is Royal Blue, Swan River Daisy. They're so delicate, but they really are hardy and tough, and you can use these to sort of crawl over the rest of the plant. And something that you can use as a little filler amongst these spreading plants is NEMESIA. This particular one is berries and cream, but you can get them in all sorts of colours. There are also slightly more erect forms and trailing forms that go with them. And now for something which you would consider to be a gardener's dream. It's a plant that is self-deadheading, and these are the CALIBRACHOAs. This particular form is apricot, as you can see from the colour of the flower itself, but you can get them in all shapes and sizes, and they say they used to be known as a million bells type and would tumble down the size of the basket. And we are now looking at the bigger cousins, petunias, and these are the star types, and you can understand and see why. They're considered to be rain resistant, but as I say, excessively bad weather will damage them slightly, but you have to deadhead these. But petunias are a good choice, and they enjoy hot locations as well. You have to water them, make sure that they don't shrink. And now we move on to the classic trailing plant, which is the pelargoniums or the ivy leaf type. And there's so many coming to market now each season. They're all improvements on the ones before, and they're well worth it, any investment. And as we started off, you can say all of these can be kept. They can be left in the basket, they're allowed to grow, but all of these plants you can propagate from them early in the spring. If you've got a greenhouse, you can bring them indoors, and it just keeps you going and gives you a couple of coppers over to buy some more plants if you want. And this is the slightly more erect NEMESIA burgundy, which I use instead of pelargoniums in the centre. But of course you can add fuchsias, begonias and annuals if you wanted to. Well, we can all dream, can't we? Diolch, and thank you for watching. Goodbye for now, but if you would like to see any more, please hit the subscribe and like buttons.